All right, shalom, shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. That's the Most High in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. And look, we about to just get straight to the beans and rice. You feel me? We about to get straight to the point. So today, bro, in this video, I wanna do something a little different, right? We can easily go into the scriptures and pull up history, which I am going to get some scriptures, and we is going to talk a little bit about history. But today I want to attempt to use common sense, bro. Today I want to attempt to use common sense to expose the true identity of so-called white people. Let's keep it simple. You feel me? Now, once again, we going to get some scriptures. I got some scriptures written down. You hear me? That's what I got this book for. But I want to lead with common sense, bro. Sometimes we overthink things. Like, we make things complicated because, like, we just making it too complex, bro. Sometimes the simple route is the best route. You know? Yeah, we Israelites, and the Most High bless some of us, a lot of us, with the deeper understandings of these scriptures, but sometimes it's good to be simple. Now, with that being said, like I said, let's get straight to the beans and rice. Do you not? Because this, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only brother who thought of this, bro. You don't think it's you don't think it's a hell of a coincidence that out of every biblical character in the Bible, I'm talking about the Ishmaelites, the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Israelites, like out of every biblical nation in the Bible, the so-called white man refuses to show himself as an Edomite. His main religion of choice is Christianity. Why is it that they never speak about the Edomites? That's nowhere in the doctrine, bro. Nowhere in their doctrine. You don't find that, like, odd, bro? This man will make himself a Babylonian. We know he'll make himself an Israelite. Feel me? Say he's a Jew. I done seen movies and all kinds of depictions of Egyptians being white. The Persians. Of course, the Greeks and the Romans. Like, all the great nations in the Bible, this man will depict those people as his people. So-called white people, right? Caucasians, right? But he will not touch Esau. He refuses to touch Esau. That's not odd to you, bro? And it's for all the people. This for the people in the know and the people that's not in the know. This for all the people who want to claim that Esau is the Arabics and that the Edomites are extinct and all that stuff. Like, it's impossible because there's a judgment that's coming to Esau. And if you know prophecy, right, and if you actually read the scriptures and the Most High gave you understanding, you know the prophecies concerning Edom has not come to pass, bro. It has not been fulfilled. So all the doctrines about Esau being exterminated and that's the only nation of people that's no longer on earth is bullcrap. Even that's odd to me. That doctrine and that belief is like, but who you think started this? You feel me? And to add to that, you don't think it's a hell of a coincidence that this man, because now the new thing is people, because remember, knowledge shall increase in the last days. That's Daniel chapter 12 verse 4, right? So people starting to wake up to, Jesus ain't white. People knew, but now it's like a known fact. You hear me? Like, it's a known fact. We still got the image, but it's a known fact that Jesus was not a white man. So now what they do, their backup doctrine is he was Middle Eastern. He was Middle Eastern. He had olive skin, bronze skin. This is their little backup doctrine, right? So like I was saying, to add to that, you don't find it odd that they will depict the Israelites, right? The Jews, as anybody but so-called black people. Like, I really want y'all to think about these things, bro. Because it's all tied into him hiding his identity, bro. They will paint the Jews, the Israelites, as anybody but so-called black people. Yahushua, or the world called Jesus. They will make that man Chinese. They'll make him Middle Eastern, right? They'll make him Indian. Of course, they made him white, right? Anything but a so-called black man. Like, come on, family. We gotta think about these things. Why? Why will he put himself in the shoes of every biblical nation in the Bible except Esau? Why will he depict the Israelites, the Jews, as anybody but so-called black people? It's a reason for this, because these are the true identities, right, that have been taken out of the earth. That have been taken. If being an Israelite wasn't so royal, right, and it didn't hold so much weight, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible, that nationality and that identity would have been done away with in the earth, just like Esau. But because it's so royal and there's so much history behind it, somebody had to pretend to still be those people, right? But if it wasn't so, I promise you, Edomites and Israelites would have been off the earth, bro. In spite of everything the Bible says, it would have found a way to. You understand what I'm saying? So, as we about to get into these scriptures, I just want you to know it's a reason why this man will never claim to be Esau, ever, because that's his true identity. That's the greatest lie ever told to man, that he's not an Edomite and you're not an Israelite. He's not an Edomite and you're not an Israelite. So let's get some scriptures, bro. And another thing I also want to slightly touch on, if we got the time, because you know people got a short attention span. I don't want this video to be too long, but I also want to touch on, because it ties into this too, like show people, because people just cannot figure out, what did we do to make the white man so mad? What did we do to make him hate us so much? Like, people really can't figure it out. One, because your history starts at the slave trade. You got to do your own research, your own due diligence to get anything prior to the slave trade. You understand? Two, you just don't know enough. And a lot of y'all just won't accept that he's Esau. Because if you did accept that they're the Edomites, then all the answers are in the Bible. All the answers are in the Bible of why this man is so mad at us. Why he has so much hate for us. It goes back to the birthright and a blessing. But like I said, if we got enough time, I'll get into that. But I just want to get into a few scriptures, right? Proving, his identity, man. Because the white people gotta be something on the earth, bro. And another thing. Sometimes the truth is hidden in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the truth is hidden in plain sight. He called himself white, right? When you go into the Bible, the only race that's closest to white are Edomites. Everybody else were people of color. I'm going to say that one more time. The only race that's closest to being white, and white as in the sense of having like very, very, very light skin. The closest color to white on the earth are so-called white people, Caucasians, because they're pale, right? Another thing, because that's hidden in plain sight. Another thing, right? Caucasian. That's really a dead giveaway. But the Most High, you feel me? Like, the Most High will put the spirit on somebody to do something, hide it in plain sight, and you still won't see it. The only people that will see it is the people who he gave eyes to see. You understand it? Ears to hear. Caucasian. We know the root word of Caucasian is Caucasus. We know they come from the Caucasus Mountains. We know they try to put that Neanderthal history on everybody, but really it's their history. They're the only cave people. And they admit it. That's why they call themselves Caucasians from the Caucasus Mountains. There's only one predominant race who lives in a mountainous region. Y'all know who it is. Esau. The Edomites. The Edomites dwelt where? In Mount Seir. Google a picture of it, good brother. And Google Caucasus Mountains. Job talked about them in the 30th chapter. Like, we can get into that, Lord willing, if we got time. You understand what I'm saying? You think that's a coincidence? Caucasians from the Caucasus Mountains, Edomites, lived in Mount Seir, a mountainous region, right? They put payment, which the Bible would call stony ground, all over America. Build up high buildings like mountains and caves, like stuff like it's right in your face, bro. Like literally, excuse me. Try and get it out the light. All right. You understand? So let's go to Genesis real quick. Genesis chapter 25, and let's get straight to the point. Let's start at 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. We're gonna run through this, right? But I still got to give y'all the breakdown. But I don't want to get too deep. I want to keep it simple. You feel me? For the novice who might be watching these videos. Typically, when a woman gets pregnant, the 2 children that she's giving birth to are of the same race. Don't think about how America twists things with the new speech. A nation, race, ethnicity, same word. They try to twist it up. When the Bible mentions nation, it's talking about a race. Now, when it mentions kingdom, right, it's talking about different countries and what they use as nation today. So whenever the Bible mentions kingdoms, that's when it's talking about different countries and regions and all that. But when it mentions nation, it's literally talking about your race. So typically when a woman get pregnant, they're of the same race. But in this case, it's 2 different races. These children have 2 different races. And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. 2 manner of people. Now, when you look at so-called white people and black people, we are literally the polar opposite to each other. All those who got white friends, who grew up with white people, know white people, watch white people, I shouldn't have to break that down. You know we are the polar opposite. You understand? We like to dance. We got rhythm. They don't. Okay, we like our food, and there's always going to be exceptions to the rule, so I'm not talking about every single white person, but for the most part, we got rhythm, they don't. Okay, we like our food well done, they like theirs medium, rare, like they'll eat bloody meat. Like that's the type of, thing they do. They like to be in the woods, wrestling with bears and doing all that shit. They cunning hunters. It said Jacob, which we're going to read, was a plain man, dwelling in the tents. You got what I'm saying? We get real dark. They're the very tip of the iceberg when it comes to the lightness. Like, we're like the polar opposite of each other. We don't like the same music. Yeah, they copy us, but at heart, we don't make the same music. We don't really like the same music. They like our music because we the salt of the earth. You feel me? And they're followers, and they have always been followers of us. I don't like how... I don't like how, that ray, bro, shining. Alright, that's better. Alright, it said, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. One people shall be stronger than the other people. We know the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, we're stronger than them. If we switch lives, we swap, trials and tribulations, they would not have been to survive what we have been through for centuries all over the world, but specifically in America, bro, in the new world, if you will. Because we're strong people. We're strong spiritually, man. You see what happened when white people lose everything they got. They commit suicide. They jump off of buildings. Right? They get down on their luck. They shoot up schools. Like, nigga lose everything, he go to sleep, man. You feel me? We're built for this, bro. And the elder shall serve the younger. So the elder shall serve the younger. Esau, let's see who came out first. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. The name Esau goes back to the Hebrew word Ishashua, which literally means wasted away is he. Why? Because he did not come out with any pigmentation, bro. He was red. They literally call themselves rednecks, bro. The Lord put the spirit on them to do that, bro. It's a sign. They are red. When they get mad, they turn red. You can say pink. Pink is a derivative of red. but they literally look red. I can Google pictures right now, bro. They stand in the sun too long, they turn red. They get into a fight, they turn red. When they're embarrassed, they turn red. Like, come on, bro. Come on, brother. Like, come on. What other people could this be describing? You understand? Now, like I said, this video kind of looked too long, so I'm just going to read one more scripture. But I want to show you, like, how even the blessing that his father gave him lines up perfectly with who he is, proving that he's the so-called white man. So this is after Jacob stole a blessing. He supplanted. He was encouraged by his mother to do this, which it was already preordained that he was going to get the blessing. But this is the Most High movie. You feel me? And unfortunately, he made us the star characters. And when I say us, I'm talking about Jacob and Esau. That's why the whole idea of racism is predicated on what? The relationship between blacks and white. When we go back to the 1930s, during the time of the Racial Integrity Act, what two races did they want to single out and make the only two races in America? Black people and white people. That's why they was labeling all the Native Americans during that time as just black people. Because this whole thing is about Jacob and Esau. Today, black and white. You understand? But he took the blessing, and here's what the father said. Now he's crying to his father, asking him, Father, do you have a blessing for me? And this is what his father said. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shall thou live. One more time. And by thy sword shall thou live, and shall serve thy brother. Remember, the elder shall serve the younger. Don't forget that. The elder shall serve the younger. Who is the elder? Esau, the so-called white man, the younger, Jacob. They don't like that. They still don't like that to this day. They're upset. They're mad about that birthright they sold. They're mad about the blessing that Jacob was given. They're mad that the Most High ordained that they should serve us. You understand? This is where all this hate and resentment come from, bro. It goes back to Jacob and Esau. Nothing else explains why these people have this evil vendetta against us. Why they make us the main focus in America, and not in a positive way, but in a negative way. They do everything in their power to hold us down and to keep us in poverty and to keep us in ignorance of not knowing who we are, of not sticking together, of killing each other, of selling each other drugs, and just being desolate and depleted. But here's the part that I want to point out. And by thy sword shalt thou live. That was the blessing. He was blessed with the sword. How has the white man obtained anything he has ever gotten? With the sword. With the sword. His sword today is that gun, those bombs, okay, those nuclear missiles, his army, his tanks, his weaponry. This is how he lived. This is how he got everything he wanted. This is how he got the Middle East in the chokehold. Got all his military bases and embassies set up over there. It ain't just because he in bed with the leaders of the Arabics and they working together and selling oil and getting rich. It ain't just that, bro. You see what he did in Iraq when they crashed into their own towers and created an excuse to go over there and steal dope and coke and lithium and oil. Like, how did they capture Puerto Rico? How did they capture Hawaii? How did they colonize Africa? Like, you get what I'm saying? India, parts of Asia. Like, how? With the sword. Where they went around raging war, killing people, murdering billions of people. Because the Most High, this is the blessing he got. By thy sword shall thy live. This fits him perfectly. He has the track record. Like, look at his history in the earth, bro. This is how he moves, bro. This is how he gets what he wants. This is how he was going to obtain the fatness of the earth. By death, by war, robbery, through thievery. You understand what I'm saying? This don't fit nobody but him. because he is Esau. But he don't want the world to know Esau. I'm going to get one more scripture. Right? Amos chapter 1 verse 9. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, Tyrus represents the Hamites, the Africans, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Now, in layman terms, the Most High said, listen, you violated me once, you violated me twice, you violated me 3 times, you violated me 4 times. Like, you're not getting away with this, bro. You violated too many times. You're not going to get away scot-free. This is what the Most High is saying. Because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom. Now, he's talking to the Hamites. Y'all out of pocket because they don't fuck with us. They don't have respect for us. They know we're not the same people. But it was prophesied already. Did not they deliver up the whole captivity to Edom? Were not Africans and Hamites in what's the word I'm looking for? In cohesive with each other? Were they not confederate against us, working together to put us on those slave ships and to keep us in captivity? Yes, it's known. That's why they got the whole saying, Africans so Africans. No, Africans so Israelites, bro. Here's the point, the main point I want to get. And remembered not the brotherly covenant. What is the brotherly covenant? I'm going to show you the brotherly covenant. Leviticus, because remember, he said he did not remember the brotherly covenant. What is the brotherly covenant? I'm going to show you. Leviticus 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. He broke the covenant. He hated Esau. He hated his brother because of that birthright that he despised and that blessing that he stole. He broke the brotherly covenant so many times. Was he not there during the Babylonian captivity when they burnt the temple? Was he not there? That's in the scripture too. Like, we've been warring with these people for a very long time, bro. And I'm gonna end with this, with the rest of the scripture. Verse 9. Verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Same thing applies. You violated too many times. How many examples do we have of white people violating blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans? This is what the Most High is talking about. Does it not fit them perfectly? Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. This is why white people are so mad at us. This is why they hate us so much. This is why they put us in captivity in America and had chattel slavery. This is why they created Jim Crow. This is why they bombed Black Wall Street. This is why they had us picking cotton till our hands bleed. This is why they castrated our men, raped our women, fed our babies to alligators. This is why that racist cops shoot us down in the streets of America. This is why they poison our food. This is why they poison our water. This is why they won't tell us who we really is. This is why our schools are mishandled and nobody's learning anything. You understand? This is why they was redlining. Like, I can keep going on and on, because they perpetually kept that wrath against us, bro. They cast off all pity. They don't feel bad for you, even if they become hypocrites and a black and a white man commit the same crime and the white man get a slap on the wrist and they throw you under the jail. They don't care if they look like hypocrites before the people, because they cast off all pity. They do not feel sorry for what they did. This is why they will not give us reparations. This is why they'll admit they wrong, but they won't make up for it. This is why we'll never get justice by them, because they have no pity. So you can't tell me that I'm geeking when I say the white man is Esau. It's like he can't be nobody else. And matter of fact, one more. I just thought of this last scripture. That's the spirit. And I'm out of here after this, because I don't want this video to be too long. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. Now, we can all agree that we're living in the last days. Maybe not everybody, because y'all know the scriptures. But if you know the signs of the times, the signs that was given by Yahushua through and the other prophets of what will be happening in the last days, you know we living in the last days. Second Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Esau is the end of the world. So Esau will be in power during those last days. He will be the very last kingdom, the very last nation to be in power before the kingdom of heaven was established on earth. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Even a worldly person can admit that white people rule the world. They are the dominant nation in the earth right now. Shalom, man. Listen, it's a wicked world. Niggas better wake up or die in that sleep. You mad or not?